MSC Cruisecast is a Triple T production. Now, the Taste, Try, Travel team of Beth and Chris.
Hey, everyone.
We had an Australian introducer today.
I'll drive that tanker. Ask me to say anything else in Australian accent.
Beth and Chris.
I'll drive that tanker.
Exactly.
It's the only the only phrase I could do in Australia.
Hello,
because I watched that movie about, it's The Road Warrior. If you don't know, Mad Max The Road Warrior from like 1982. I watched that movie about 5 bazillion times when I was a kid.
Pronounce.
I'll drive that tanker.
Hi, everyone. We're Beth and Chris with Taste, Try, Travel, and welcome to this week's episode of MSC Cruisecast.
We got big news.
Oh my goodness.
Is it big news? It's just updates.
Yes.
It's really just updates, but we're excited about
we have some really cool things to share with you too.
America.
Yes.
So
we are your headquarters for all information MSC.
Right. And remember, we are open from about 8 to 5 and we close from 12 to 2 for lunch. And always push, don't pull on the door when you come to the headquarters.
A lot to share. We have some new updates for some restaurants. I feel like they're new. I just recently found out. I hope this information hasn't been out there for a while, and I'm going to feel stupid, but it's new to me.
Yeah, no, it's new. Some of it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have, well, at least we didn't know about names for a couple of the restaurants that they were going to put in. Right. So we got some names.
But before we start with that.
Sorry, I spilled our beans. What is that?
Today's coffee cup is a beautiful little pottery cup that my mom gave you for your birthday, and it has Sherlock Holmes on it.
Why do you have the investigative Sherlock Holmes cup?
Because we're doing some sleuthing, I feel, right? And we're gonna ask for your guys' help too.
Yes, we are. Exactly.
Should I start out with the shout out?
Sure, yeah.
All right. So this week's shout out is to Anne Freed H4817. Her comment was, I went on a behind the scenes tour of the World Europa, and that included the theater, and they informed us that MSC doesn't do their own shows, meaning that they don't have their own writers, producers. Instead, they outsource those shows to different production companies, including staffing for the actual performance. So they're not working, directly for MSC. On World Europa, well, she was talking about a little bit there, but that gave us some direction to head in.
Well, let's just put a little perspective on it.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. But there's a big backstory with a character that we saw on the seashore in 2022 named Steampunk Humpty Dumpty. Well, he wasn't named that. He was just a weird little character who was dancing around the background, had nothing to do with the show.
Right.
And
that's
it was
our
great.
Affectionate name.
Yeah, we called him Steampunk Humpty Dumpty. And we've been trying to
track him down, see if he can.
Exactly. We want to adopt him.
Pretty much.
We would like to bring him home, take him to soccer practice when he needs to go to soccer practice.
So on last week's podcast, thank you so much.
Parent-teacher meeting with Steampunk Humpty Dumpty.
Thank you for indulging us as we shared our whole Steampunk Humpty Dumpty story, but we're basically in search. And so this comment was in response to last week's podcast and kind of like gave us a direction to follow.
Yeah, because we went back on the seashore and we found out, they told us that show that he was in, Mystic Forest, was no longer on seashore. They had changed the name at one point and then it left, and so Steampunk Humpty Dumpty wasn't around anymore.
Right.
So we were like, well, that kind of stinks. We're just going to have to figure out We have to figure out how to bring him back.
Direction, right?
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it kind of left us reeling a little.
Right. So, Chris did a little digging into maybe some of these companies that. Oh, am I going too fast?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, some of these companies that MSC outsources.
So there's a phenomenon.
There is.
Online. Mm-hmm. And it's called falling down the rabbit hole.
Yes. We do that very often.
It's when you pick a subject and then you start searching on the internet and you just go down all of these weird little offshoot
and then
tubes.
you start searching for something else and you just keep going.
And it just keeps going and going, and you're finding connections where there may not be connections, but there could be. There's people have solved serial murders. There was I don't know if you've ever seen that documentary.
Far off. Okay, which one?
Patton Oswalt's wife, the comedian Patton Oswalt. His wife was an online blogger about crimes, and she actually solved a serial murder.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Wow. That's how deep the rabbit holes can go.
Yeah, exactly. So, and there's another documentary called Don't Blank with Cats, where people like these animals tortured some cats and posted it online, and then people on the internet tracked them down through the internet. Good. And they were charged. I don't know the complete outcome of it, but anyway, there's another documentary. Anyway, there's a rabbit hole of investigation that you can go down on the internet. So
Chris started. He was the one who kind of
thanks to Anne. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know if it's Annie or Anne.
Yeah.
Because I think there's an E at the end. Yeah. But anyway, I'm sorry. She's one of our faithful
commenters.
Yeah. So she kind of spurred me on with that. Yeah. Oh, there's a production company that handles all that. So I kind of went online, did a little sleuthing of my own, and I found out that there are a couple that do a couple of outside production companies that do MSC.
A lot of MSC,
yeah. And one of them is called Boar Productions.
That one looks like it had the most promise, I think.
Well, and there's a reason.
Yeah.
So I found out that Boar Productions has done over 25, I think, or 30 shows for MSC. So I went to, after figuring out who they were and everything, and I went to their website. Whoops, that's not their website. I went to their website, and if you go to their website and then you click on their shows on their website, the first one that pops up is called Aziza.
Okay.
And the explanation or the description of Aziza is enter into a journey, a fantastical journey. It's something along the lines. I can't remember exactly, but enter into a fantastical journey through a mystical forest.
Well, that's basically it.
That was, I suppose, the story. Yeah. It was really a Kiss member Mary's Wonder Woman.
The description was pretty close. So yeah.
I mean, what's the chances that a production company that works for MSC puts on shows, has a show that they call Aziza, where they describe a mystical forest?
Exactly.
And with the information that they changed the name at one point from Mystic Forest to something else.
Right.
I was like, oh.
Forest Journeys or something, yeah. So changing the names and changing the shows up just a little bit is a pretty common practice. So they can move it around to different ships.
Yes.
The shows.
So I'm almost 100% sure. I'm 99. I'm almost there. That Aziza was Mystic Forest, and it was put on by Boar Productions.
So
can I just, before you say anything, can I just say, while you're on their website, they have a show called The Snow Gorilla.
That sounds pretty fantastical as well.
That sounds tailor-made for MSC. Yes. Why have I not seen that?
Well, I'm sure
on an MSC ship.
They change the names of the shows once they're on the ship.
I would be first in line.
That's right.
For the Snow Gorilla. When it shows up on an MSC, I'm hoping that the Snow Gorilla makes its debut on the World America. Like, they've been saving that show because it's so fantastic. For the inaugural of the World America, we're gonna be first in line.
As soon as we get on board, we're gonna get in line.
Exactly. And then Steampunk Humpty Dumpty will be somewhere in the background in a steampunk snowsuit. And my little mind will be blown.
That's right. With this information, we're going to keep searching. So we're going to maybe try to contact Boar Productions and see if we can get some more information. But we're just putting this information out to you guys too. So if anyone's interested and wants to do any more research on Boar Productions, there's another company called RWS Global that does some of their...
WS or RSW? Did you look it up?
No, you told me. I might have...
One of those two. It's RWS or RSW.
So all of this to say that we're still on the hunt and to see maybe we can like buy the costume. I don't know. That's like way down the road, but we'll see where that comes from. So
just real quick,
share that little update. Yeah.
Real quick, while I was down the rabbit hole, I found the entire management team and their emails online for Boar Productions, like all of them.
Okay. We're just send blasts.
And I'm just putting a note out there to Boar Productions when they see this, because somebody or we contact them. We're not stalking you.
No.
I know you're going to get a weird email, but we're not stalking you. We're stalking Steampunk Humpty Dumpty, okay? We're not stalking you. Anyway.
Speaking of.
Yes.
Next thing we want to talk about is something we don't do very often. We're not like that great at it. But that's really like
we stink at it. Let's just be honest here. We're terrible
ourselves and our channel, and so we're trying to get better at that. And so Chris has done an amazing job. I'm just gonna say he doesn't think that he's like a graphic design artist, but he came up with a logo. This is going to be a logo for the World America. So we're going to use it probably for shirts for the World America. And then also it's going to be kind of the group cruise mantra that we have for October of next year. So Chris is just putting up on the screen our group cruise information. We're looking forward to meeting you guys so much. It's going to be so great. But we kind of came up with this little wording, and it's going to be Triple T takes over the world, America. So that's kind of our
for the group cruise.
So anyway, he came up with a logo, and so we now have available. We have an online store. We're going to have some Humpty Dumpty, Steampunk Humpty Dumpty merchandise. We're going to have some with the World America, and then we have some with our Bon Voyage. So take it away, Chris. Whatever else you want to say.
Well, first of all, that's going to be our official logo for the...
Do you have a bigger picture of it or no?
No.
Okay. I'm going to put it out on our socials so you'll all see it as well. Oh,
I thought you already did that.
Shh. I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
It will be by the time this comes out.
Okay. That's our official logo for the cruise. Mm-hmm. It's got the world.
Exactly.
It's got the World America, the big huge. I love the front end.
Really cool. It has a really interesting hole shape. There's a specific. Let me see. There's a specific name for it. Keep going.
Yeah, it's one of those. On traditional cruise lines, you have the front bow and then a flat area, and then it starts up into the hull of the ship, or the main body of the ship. And this is a little bit like just starts right in the front, right at the bow, and goes straight into the.
Let me tell you, their
body of the ship.
Their wording for it is groundbreaking silhouette. So it's a signature plumb bow rising vertically from the water line and Y-shaped aft that opens onto the impressive outdoor world promenade. So they're calling it a plumb bow. That sounds interesting.
Bow.
I know.
I'll have to remember that.
I know.
So that's really, I think, one of the neatest things about this ship is just the look of it.
Very prominent. You can tell right away that it's the world-class ships. Yeah.
Right. And then, of course, because we love Ocean Cay so much, we have the lighthouse.
We have to have the lighthouse.
From the Ocean Cay prominent on there.
Yeah.
And then Travel T takes over the World America, and the dates, which are October 18th through the 25th of next year, 2025. Yep.
So check it out. It is a beautiful logo. You did such a great job.
I really enjoyed working on this.
Yeah.
Just because it's a, I don't know. I'm excited about the ship.
Oh, yes.
I'm excited to get on it. It's a vibrant ship, so I wanted to bring a little vibrant design.
Yeah, it does.
Little nice colors and stuff like that.
So there's like shirts and hats and totes and all kinds of things. Coffee mugs, there's all kinds of things. And so, yeah.
Can I just say about Steampunk Humpty Dumpty? We have Steampunk Humpty Dumpty available on some stuff.
Yeah.
And he is available on a little
baby onesie.
A little baby onesie. And it does that perfect for a little baby onesie or what?
Absolutely.
That Steampunk Humpty Dumpty graphic design right in the middle of some baby's belly.
The big baby belly.
Spilling bananas and apple sauce or whatever they eat down, and they're all over Steampunk Humpty Dumpty. So
we're gonna have a link to our shop in the description, but is that the best way for them to get there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You just go. It'll be down below here.
Yep.
There'll be some items featured at the bottom, and then the link to the shop, and because
we're launching our shop, right? So it goes live today.
Yeah. We switched shops. So yes.
Can I talk about the discount?
Added some designs. Yes, that's what I was just going to say. Yes.
Perfect. So today is where's my phone? What is today?
28th?
It's the 29th.
No, it's the 28th. It's the 29th. Sorry.
This is why we're not so good at this.
It's the magic of video.
All right. So listen, there's some really great discounts. So starting today through September 3rd, which is going to be the next 5 days, 25% off everything in the store. And then September 4th through the 9th, and this is all 2024. And then for the next following 5 days, it's 20% off. And then after that, the sale goes off. So if you're interested in checking these out, do so. You can get a really good discount.
Yeah, 25% off for the next couple
really
days.
Cute.
And then if you forget or something, you still have 5 more grace period days.
We're going to most likely wear this logo even on the World America inaugural. So you can really wear it anytime as long as you're on the World America. Right?
I hate to tell you, but it might show up on the Seascape.
Oh,
on our next cruise.
Maybe, as long as you're on MSC. How about that?
There you go. That's how much I like it. All right, enough of that.
Let's just jump right into some of the information that we wanted to share about the World America. So there's a couple new restaurants. Some of them we already knew about, right? That are pretty much on every MSC ship. It's the Butcher's Cut. It's the Kaito Teppanyaki and Sushi. It's the Ola Tacos and Cantina. And then not all the ships have the Ocean Cay seafood. So I know, which you thought was just the weirdest name for the...
they just name everything Ocean Cay. It doesn't matter. If you just say Ocean Cay, just go somewhere, and it'll be called Ocean Cay. And then
now a
little confusing.
Yeah, it is. A little quick thing, and I'm sure you guys already know this, but the World America is going to mirror the World Europa, which is already out. So a lot of the things that we are looking at, we don't actually have them yet for the World America, but we can look at the World Europa and kind of get a pretty good sense of what they are. It might change a little bit, but not huge. So a lot of this information we're getting from now that we know the restaurants are going to be mirrored on the World America. So the specialty restaurants, the new are going to be La Pescaderia, which is like a seafood market, Chef's Garden, which we're going to talk about both of those for a little bit. I'm gonna save the other one for last. So let's talk about first these two. So La Pescaderia is going to be on the promenade in the very back of the ship. It is. You have a pictures coming up. Okay, so it's very like white and blue and nautical themed. There is both this like a sit down restaurant.
Smells like fish in there.
It will smell like fish. And then there's actually what's really I'm looking forward to is there's like towards the backside is a little grab and go section where you can get like decently priced fish and chips. Like you can just walk up and you can be like, can I get fish and chips? I mean, you have to pay for it, but it's not going to be as expensive as see,
do you have
even
to pay
Chris
for it?
Is excited.
If you run really fast, do you have to pay for it?
Well, probably before you get it. So they're going to have some grab and go little things too.
I did not know that there was a grab and go section, a little quick service
How awesome.
area.
That's the stuff that you love. So, I'm looking forward to it. You're just kind of out on the promenade and you just got the wake right there. You have a really cool bar across from you. Just grab some fish and chips, grab some,
Like on YouTube, there's like one video of La Pescaderia.
I know.
And I watched it like 6 times.
Trying to get as much information as
exactly.
we can.
And God bless those people for at least putting it out. But it seemed like they didn't even really want to be there.
Well, there's a lot of places that have tours. So there's a bunch that will do like a tour of World America or World Europa, but there's not really anyone like going in and experiencing it, or it's a little bit harder to find. So
I'm just going to call it like it is. What's wrong with you people?
Well,
fish is delicious.
Is Chris's favorite. So let me tell you a little bit.
It's so good.
Yeah. It's going to be even better at this place.
I can't believe that nobody's doing videos on this. We are certainly going to do videos.
And I'm actually really excited that it's going to be on World America.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different than a typical restaurant that you'll go in, sit down, order from. You're going to walk in and there's going to be this massive like display case and it's going to be full of ice and there's going to be different seafood all like displayed. So you're actually, there might be, shrimp, some lobsters, some sea basses. I mean, there's going to be so many things. I can't even tell you.
So if you want to get a shrimp and a lobster, you can make them fight there on the they can fight.
That's the place. So you're actually going to like physically pick out what you want and how many or how much of what you want, and then you're going to tell them how you want to cook it. There'll be a menu there where you can get some sides and some different things, but like that's the main thing. It's kind of like when you used to be able to go into like Red Lobster, to like the big lobster tank with all the lobsters swimming around, and you say, I want one of those. You point at it and then they would grab it and cook it.
It's nothing like going to Red Lobster.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that.
If it's anything like going to Red Lobster, I'm going to be so disappointed. I think of it as going to a fish market.
That's exactly what they're doing it after a fish market. So
you go to a fish market, you pick out your fish. It's a European type of market where they'll cook it for you too.
Yep.
You can tell them how you would like it cooked. They'll cook it that way. Or you just say, hey, how would you cook this? Because I'm not familiar with this fish.
Right. Cook it,
and they'll cook it there however they think is the best way to cook it. That's the way I think of it. It's like a fish market.
Yeah. And so it's a little, I don't want to say it's a casual spot. It's beautifully decorated. Like I said, it's very like clean lines and... Is that how I'm trying to think of how to describe the inside of it a little bit?
Like the where you walk into the family room of a model home when you're looking at homes.
Okay.
Is that what you're talking about?
Not really. But,
okay.
It's very inviting, but it's not like a upscale. The prices can be, so it all depends on, what you end up getting. But there are some of the dining packages available will work there as well with a certain menu. So I'm absolutely looking forward to experiencing that. I know you can get like you can get just a whole bucket of shrimp or 3 or however much, so you really get to tailor it to what you want to eat, which I think is really cool. So
listen, I'm just gonna when we were on Maravilia and we were in the yacht club and they had red snapper on the buffet and they were like, we're gonna cook it fresh for you.
You made your whole cruise.
Yeah. If there's a place where I can do that, and then just around the corner, there's MSC Pizza. I'm afraid that I'm not going to go anywhere else on this ship.
I know.
I can get my fish cooked any way I want. A whole bunch of different fish.
Turn your card off so you can't pay for it.
I can get the pizza.
Yeah.
When I want the pizza.
Yeah.
There's really, I'm just going to find a cot.
Can I tell you something really quick?
Halfway in between those two, and I'm going to sleep right there.
Can I tell you really quick?
Yes.
The Luna Pizza and Burgers, we've talked about this previously. This is the 24-hour pizza burger, like all of the yummy food, right? Do you know what's themed after an 80s arcade room? How much more perfect can it be for you?
It's going to be Back to the Future.
Exactly.
Except with MSC Pizza. And that just made my life
there you go.
Good.
Right there.
It doesn't get any better than that.
So again, it's going to be on the boardwalk all the way in the back of the ship. So don't miss it. We're not going to miss it. The other one I want to talk about.
Have a piece of fish. You'll like it.
Is Chef's Garden.
Ask them what's not fishy. If you don't like the big fishy fish,
right,
which I do, but if you don't like fishy fish, say what's not fishy. And they'll get you a beautiful piece of fish.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Absolutely. Moving on.
Okay.
Chris will talk about fish all day. Chef's Garden. Now, this is an interesting one, and this has gotten such good reviews. So, but I wanted to tell you a little interesting fact if you didn't know this. This restaurant, the chef is a Michelin star Swedish chef, Nicholas Ekstedt. So, but what does Michelin star mean? So if you're not familiar, I want to kind of read you, kind of give you an idea.
Tires last at least 80,000 miles, I'm pretty sure, is right? Mm-hmm. There's a Michelin star rated tires, 80,000. Sorry.
You're joking.
I thought that joke would go over better than it did.
You're not far off.
Really? Okay.
Not at all. So a Michelin star is an award given to restaurants that Michelin considers to be the best in a city based on the quality of their food and dining experience. The Michelin star system was created in 1926 by the French tire company Michelin to encourage automobile travel. Isn't that interesting? So it actually, the tire company,
I knew that they were related,
they came up with it.
But I didn't realize that makes sense.
Yeah. So, and you find Michelin star restaurants all over the world, but it's really cool that, this is a affordable Michelin star restaurant.
Exactly.
It's still going to be pricey, okay?
Usually when the Michelin star hits, when you get that Michelin star, you get that Michelin star price bump too.
Yeah.
So.
Now, one of the main features of this restaurant is going to be this entire wall of hydroponic microgreen garden. So they're going to grow all of their little microgreens that they're going to make their dishes with, and they're going to kind of be highlighted. So, and when you're talking about some of this, like Michelin star restaurant, it's where they're going to take usually items and they're going to transform them several different ways. They're going to make super creative. And it's going to kind of like be a little twist on what you might think a certain food should look or taste like. And they're going to kind of mix that up. And it's going to be like art on your plate. And so definitely something to maybe plan for, because it will be pricey. But all the reviews that I've read on it have been wonderful. It's just one of those experiences that it's just something special, right? So you're gonna, all these new flavors, all this new experience. It's supposed to be a really beautiful design restaurant.
Where is Nicholas Ekstedt from? Do you know?
Sweden. Yep. He's Swedish. So that kind of comes where kind of clean lines as they kind of usually cook anyway.
What?
Very clean plates.
Clean lines?
Very structured food and very small. It's not just a bunch of on the plate.
Right. They usually will go for a little bit more subdued palate. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's what's going to be, mm-hmm. but very creative with their ingredients, yep. with how they present it.
And it's going to be very vegetable forward.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So
you start working another job so you can save up. It's not that bad.
Maybe I'll leave the fish pizza area for a
little bit
for the chef's garden, maybe.
But it's definitely something to plan for. One of the reviews said it was out there.
I like out there.
I know. So you could just have to think like wildly creative, interesting. It's going to be a little bit on the higher end, like food wise, but still really fun. So like I said,
so everything's not just going to be like you get a broiled piece of salmon with some bean sprouts on top.
No,
it's a little pile of bean sprouts.
A little bit better than that.
Okay, good. I was hoping that it was better than that.
Next, I think this is kind of the last one. How are we doing on time?
We're good. We're 32 minutes.
We're going to kind of talk about something we don't normally do. So we never usually get into, or we try not to, I should say never, into like the gossip mode of speculating of what we think. But there is something on the World Europa. Pretty sure it's going to be on World America, but we haven't had actual confirmation yet, but we're still going to talk about it anyway.
That's because MSC doesn't talk about it.
Exactly. We don't get.
They literally do not talk about it.
And so, they're pretty close. Now we're still a ways out from the ship, but still they're pretty close-mouthed about a lot of this stuff. And this in particular that we're going to talk about is already kind of secret as it is.
It's like the UFO phenomenon. Ooh. They will not. They
confirm.
Right. There's been some things that have happened on our ships.
Yeah.
We're not sure exactly. That's kind of how they play it.
Yeah.
We're not sure. It could be, might be. I don't know.
So a lot of times we try to wait to hear things for sure, but it's just too fun. And we haven't talked about this at all. And so if you're not real familiar with World Europa, maybe this will surprise you. Maybe not. We'll see. What do you got?
I forgot my graphic.
Oh, you have
that
a nice
I work,
little World America.
I work days on these, and I forget to put them up. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say now.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
All right. They have a speakeasy on board. Now, the thing that's really cool about this is you can't just go in. You can't make a reservation. You cannot get in to this bar, which is a very cool bar, unless you're invited.
You have to be invited.
You can't wrangle an invitation. You can't pay a lot of money for an invitation. You can't be hoity-toity content creator and get one.
Do they realize that I'm going to be double black diamond super fun time?
You
Voyager level?
It doesn't matter. Can't get it. So the really cool thing about this is you have to get an invitation. And so those invitations are given by the crew. It could be the bartender who you've made friends with, who's, just you're enjoying your cruise and you keep going back to see him and kind of getting conversations. And then he just one day just kind of like slips you this little token. It could be any of the crew. Nobody really knows how they're giving them out, but you have to get it from the crew. So you're given this little token and it's going to tell you a certain time, or I think you have to call it's going to give you information on it. And how you actually get into the speakeasy is the coolest thing. And I freaking love MSC for this. There is a red telephone booth, like a English telephone booth, in one of the hallways, and you have to, when it's your time to go in, you walk up and you call a number on this phone that's in there, and the wall opens and someone comes out and gets you, and then you're invited, like you walk, like I think of it as like heart of the house, or it's like backstage, from our Disney times, but it's not in like the general like population area. And you walk down this hallway that's very like crew only kind of thing, and then they sneak you in to this speakeasy. So it only fits 70 people. So how many people fit on the World America? Like 6,000?
6,000.
Something. So only, I guess, 70 people at a time that they do this. And they have no drink packages work in here. It's like nothing works once you go in there. And they have really creative drinks, like really cool drinks. They range anywhere from like $15 to $25 for a drink. But they have some live music that's kind of playing. What style of music was that there was?
Kind of like ragtime.
Ragtime. Kind of makes you feel like you're back in that time period. The crew is going to be wearing different uniforms or costumes, whatever they are. And I don't know if you have like a certain amount of time that you're there, but you basically just sit there and you just enjoy this, and you're in this really cool decorated room, listening to this music, and you feel like you were like taken back in time in this speakeasy bar. And I love that concept.
Yeah, I do too. I love the whole intimate shows that are kind of making I wouldn't say a comeback because they never existed before, but are becoming more popular on different cruises.
Yeah.
Like on the Seascape class?
Mm-hmm.
Seaview class.
Uh-huh.
The back little nightclub.
Goodness.
The something Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
Was it Moulin Rouge?
I think so.
Cabaret Rouge.
Cabaret Rouge.
Cabaret Rouge. Just a little bit more small, intimate.
Yeah, entertainment.
And it's entertainment. Close. Exactly. Right. It's not just a show. Right. It's entertainment. They do different things, and it almost felt a little the video that I saw on this speakeasy. Mm-hmm. Almost felt a little bit like that, and that it kind of went around to different tables.
Yeah, they got off their little stage. They just had like a tiny little like step up stage, but they were like going around the room and interacting with some of the people, and so there's not food available. It's just the drinks, but they're really, really interesting drinks. So very probably whiskey driven, kind of Prohibition era style drinks.
Which is my thing, which is
absolutely not. We are fun, fruity, frozen drink people.
That's where cocktails kind of came around, was during that era when when the alcohol wasn't quite to the level of taste that people were used to before that. So they would sweeten it up or make a little drink cocktail out of that plus something else.
Right.
And that's where the craft cocktail
started. Yeah.
So I'm totally into that.
Well, they're going to be like interesting, and there'll probably be some like herbs and different tonics and liqueurs and different interesting things like that.
Yeah.
More so than your margaritas and Bahama Mamas. There's not going to have that kind of stuff there. So it's not a very big drink menu. I think there was like 8 maybe drinks on there. So, but it's just like, what a cool experience to have. Just to be out of the blue invited, you get a chance to go in and experience something that not a lot of other people on the ship will be able to experience.
I love the whole idea, the whole concept, like you said, the whole idea behind this. I think it's great.
So that's what they're saying is like there's no way to get a token unless you're invited. And I think as the World America comes out, and if they do have this on there, which pretty sure they're going to, because it's gone over so well on the other ship, I'm sure people try to figure out how to get invited or how to get invited back. So it'll be interesting to see.
I
that
figure
process.
out a way.
You're not telling anybody.
I'm not telling anybody. Just so you know, I'm not going to announce it because they will get mad at me, and I want to keep going back to that thing. So I don't know. Let us know if you've heard of that. But in MSC fashion, it is just called the Speakeasy. So that's just what it is, and that's what it is. Well, I kind of like in this area. I kind of like that there's no name. It's just what it is. Yeah, it's exactly just what it is. Hidden, invite only bar that we don't talk about. Right. I love that. Nobody talk about. I totally love that. So as they have more stuff coming out, we are just getting so excited to experience this ship twice next year. Can I just say really quick? Yeah. They have a little like pub area. I know we're going to cover bars and some distant cruise cast. We keep putting off the bar, covering the bars on the ship. But they have like a little pub area where they have some music in there, and it's like 2 stories. Yeah, it's like 2 stories, and they brew their own. They have a microbrewery. Yeah, which I'm not too excited about that, but the whole atmosphere of that place. Yeah. They have live music in there. This looks so awesome. I mean, I love the whole pub. It's like a British pub. Yeah. The whole Irish pub. Okay. Well, it's like a British pub too. But I Ireland. I just fell in love when we were there. Yeah. I fell in love with Ireland. Yeah. So the whole Irish pub atmosphere. Yep. Gosh, can't wait to spend if they could fill it with some of my Irish kin, my Irish friends in there, that'd be awesome, because they're just, the Irish people, they're so friendly. Absolutely. I was gonna say a word because they're so freaking friendly. They are so nice, so I'm so excited to go to this one too. And you don't have to be invited to this one. Well, this one has food as well, so I think that's kind of cool because it lends itself to that kind of pub feeling. It's kind of like a British style pub. They're going to serve obviously fish and chips, and this is going to be a cost for the food as well in this one. Bangers and mash. They have a ploughman's platter, ploughman's lunch. Where's that? That's kind of like just like meat, cheese, things like that. So again, that's going to add to that like little uniqueness of these different spaces, which I love. Love it. I know. I'm so excited. I know. So if you don't have plans next October, come on with us. Exactly. We're going to be on the inaugural. We're on the inaugural April 12th. So we're going to scope it out. Absolutely. And then we're going to video so much we're not even going to sleep. A party with you guys. Yeah. In October, on board. And we're going to like know all the places to go. Maybe we'll know how to get an invite. I was going to say maybe. That might be hard for everybody. Wouldn't that be tough?
one part, like 2 people in our group get an invite, we're gonna all be like, oh, we're gonna be happy for you. But yeah,
exactly.
We're just gonna be a little jealous too.
That guy.
As they keep sharing, we will keep talking about the World America. We do want to go through. There's some very unique bars that they're going to do, and they have a tea room. There's so many.
Somebody shared pictures on our family page. I can't remember who it was now. Can you look it up real quick?
Yeah.
Somebody shared pictures of the ship out on.
It's looking. I know.
It looks almost done.
Well, it looks like it has a little bit of holes in it.
I know. But, well,
Stacy shared it.
Oh, that's right, Stacy.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
On our family page, on our Facebook family page. That it's
the whole outside looks.
I know it looks like it's ready to go. Like, I'm ready to get on it.
Yet.
I don't mind if there's a couple little areas that aren't done. I don't mind.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I'm ready to go on it now.
But there were also some, and I don't have any to share. I'm so sorry, but I just wanted to mention real quick before we finish up that the terminal down in Miami is starting to look good. The whole outside, it kind of has this like wave. It's all glass. It's going to be pretty similar probably to the Norwegian terminal. Remember that you went out of? That was very open and airy. It has that same kind of feel, and it's massive. But the insides are all starting to take shape, and they just kind of confirmed. I think we already knew this, but that terminal is going to be the largest in the world. It's going to house any three ships that MSC has, so they could even be mega ships. There's gonna be parking for everyone there. So anyway, it's taking shape. The insides just need to be finished off, but we're kind of excited.
Can I just say really quick that I think cruises, and particularly MSC, but a lot of cruise lines are figuring out that the experience needs to start
absolutely
at the check-in.
Yeah,
that they really don't want you to have a bad experience at the check-in and then get on the ship. Yep. They don't really want that.
So they're making these terminals trying to make beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah. They're trying to bring the experience. As soon as you drop your luggage off at the porter, you are in the cruise experience. Yep. So I really appreciate that a lot of cruise lines are building new terminals and trying to extend it as much as they possibly can. Yeah. Into the terminal area. So I really appreciate that.
Yep. And then construction on the terminal in Galveston has begun. So that's going to take a little while. It's going to take over a year for that. But they've already started on that. And so we are getting ready to head out on the Seascape, and that is where Galveston is going to be the home for the Seascape coming up next year. So
we're not going to be in Galveston. We're sailing out of Miami, but starting next year, that'll be Seascape.
So really cool things happening. Really excited to get more information about restaurants, because you know that's kind of our thing. So and bars too. We enjoy that. So that's all I have for today's podcast.
Really? You mentioned one other thing. Are you not going to? We'll save that for another one.
Oh yeah,
We're at 48 minutes, so okay. I can save it for another one.
I can say this super quick.
Sure.
So we have people giving us a hard time because we say Ocean K.
How? It's not pronounced K.
So you can, the C-A-Y can be pronounced Key or K. And a couple interesting things. A lot of MSC people, like here in the States, will say Ocean Key. But the Italians will say Ocean K. So it's really however you would like to say it. Yes.
Exactly. It's how you would like to say it. Because I did a little research. I'm not a linguist. Okay. So if there's a PhD in linguistics out there that knows a little bit more of the background, but it comes from the French word "quai." Quai.
Okay.
Q-U-A-I, old French.
Okay.
Q-U-A-Y,
which is K.
newer French.
Yeah.
And they pronounced it "quai."
Yeah.
So English, the English folks, would look at the word and say, That's key.
Oh, okay.
Because of the Y.
Gotcha.
There's a key, or because of the I, key. So in a lot of the more continental European areas of the Caribbean, it's pronounced K.
Okay.
And a lot of the English
Interesting. I didn't know
areas,
that.
it's pronounced Key.
Yeah.
Because of the two different branches of how to pronounce it, kind of
Branched
where,
off,
exactly who colonized what area.
Yeah.
So technically, you can say it either way.
Right.
And because a lot of English areas pronounce it Key, it was changed to K-E-Y, the spelling.
Gotcha. Okay.
And because it was pronounced K in a lot of areas, in the other areas, it's K, or it's C-A-Y.
Yeah. So we're a little bit more continental Europe then.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's what we are. So just like Perfect Day, Coco K. So everyone, they kind of do that. So they pronounce that K, right?
You can pronounce it either way, but
it doesn't sound right. Perfect Day, Coco Key. It doesn't sound.
It doesn't rhyme.
Anyway, so just a little tidbit that here at Triple T we like to say K because it does feel a little bit more special that
Italian.
way. It's special that
little
way.
Spanish, little continental European.
You'll hear it either way, but that's just how we like to say it. So,
that's right.
I don't know. Someone gave us a hard time and said we were saying it right, but so I just had to
Oh no, you didn't.
So that is going to wrap up this week's podcast. As always, thank you so much, guys, for taking the time and listening, watching, being a part of the comments, and letting us know how excited you are for World America.
25% off in our store for the next couple days.
There's some really, really great merchandise, I think. I think we're on our way to promoting ourselves.
I doubt it. We'll forget to do it from now on.
Thank you, guys. We will see you in next week's episode. Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.